listening or exploring the landscape is the first step in developing your Facebook strategy. Oftentimes, we're tempted when we want to get started on a social network to just jump in and say, we want to create a page and we want it to do this for our business. And we often get started with our own strategy because as marketers, we're used to that mindset of what do we want to achieve and let's build stuff that does it. But in order to maximize your results, start by listening and looking around to see what's working on Facebook. One of the things that makes social media so powerful is that you can see what everyone else is doing because Facebook pages are public. So you don't have to start from zero. You can start by looking at what other people are doing and use that to inform your strategy a little bit. Facebook search is the best way to get started for this. So I can search, let's say that I'm looking to start a sailing business. I can start just by searching for sailing on Facebook. Now, as I start looking, so I've searched sailing, the first thing I'll see is an overview of different things that Facebook thinks I might be interested in. But let's go through all of the different search tools here so you can just get a feel for how you can really use Facebook search as a part of a listening strategy up front. So I can look at posts by anyone, me, or just my friends and groups. If I'm using this for research, I probably want to keep it open to anyone. So now first I can look at posts. So I can actually come here and see posts from people about sailing. Now, as I start looking at these posts, what you'll notice is most of the posts are coming from my friends. The reason for this is most Facebook users keep their profiles private. So for example, if you're not friends with me, you can't just search and see my Facebook status updates because most of my Facebook status updates are limited in visibility just to the people that are my friends on Facebook. So typically when you start exploring content on Facebook, one of the biggest limitations is that you can't see all of the status updates from everyone because most people's status updates are private. So you'll typically just see posts from your friends, and maybe you'll see posts from a small segment of other people who do keep their posts public. At any rate, this will start to give me an idea. You can see here public posts. These are people who are publicly posting, and I can start to see what they're posting. One of the things you'll notice is that when you start looking at public posts, a lot of these are going to be business pages because pages are inherently public, whereas most people don't keep their accounts public unless they're building a personal brand or something like that. But I can come here and see what people are posting about sailing. Next, if I click on people, I'll find people who have sailing in their profile name. In this case, that's probably not helpful to me. Next, I can look at photos. So I can see all of the photos about sailing. You can see first it's going to show me photos from friends and groups. And then below that, I'll be able to, again, see public photos. But this is going to be somewhat limited because of the private nature of Facebook. Videos work in a similar way. So if we were to click on videos, we would see a similar approach where we can see all the videos that are both public as well as private. Facebook also now has started to integrate shopping results into their search, which if you're shopping for something could be interesting. A lot of what you'll find on this is people who are selling things. So oftentimes you'll find used products that people are selling, but you can come in here and also look at shopping results if that's relevant for your business. You can also see pages. This is where I actually start to find a lot of value. Is that I can, as a business, look up other pages that are about my industry or niche and start to see what they're doing. So I may want to look up my competitors. I could look up industry publications. I could just look up other businesses that are about sailing. So I might look up sailing magazines. I might look up stores. I may look up people who are out sailing who've kind of built a personal brand. But what I'm trying to do by looking at all of these things, so I'm showing you the how, but the why of it is that I'm looking at all of this content to really start to get a feel for what is it about sailing that people are passionate about. And I can come into a business page that I found, for example. So if I find a business page that I think is relevant and interesting, I can start learning from what they're doing. So I can look at their posts and say, well, what posts seem to be popular on their page? So I can start to see which posts are generating the most likes. What kind of videos are they sharing that people seem really interested in? And as I start to explore their content, I'll get more and more ideas about my own content strategy, the target audience that I want to reach, and how I'm going to implement. So the idea of this listening stage is that by just spending a little bit of time looking around, you can really start to customize your strategy. You can also look at places that are about sailing. For a keyword search like this, it's probably not really relevant. I can look at sailing groups. This can be really helpful because here I can see what people are passionate about and what they're talking about related to sailing. So I could join some of these groups. Now keep in mind, if I join a group, I'll be joining with my personal account. So my page cannot join a group. Only me as a person can join a group. But I can start joining groups and looking at what is it that people are passionate about? What are they talking about? What are their questions? And I'm going to use this listening stage to inform every single aspect of the rest of my strategy. I can also look at apps about sailing or explore events